after you've been through 45 years. It took a lot to get here, and I intend to enjoy it. This scenery just... I don't have adjectives for this. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think while I'm driving. It's... Look, if you're from here, and maybe you're used to it, I don't know, maybe you have a different perspective. I'm not used to this. As far as I'm concerned, did we die? Is this heaven? I just can't believe we're here. My God. My God. Look at that. Just look at it. Living in the UK really changes your perspective on time. I mean, for instance, in America, if you live in a house that's, say, 50 years old, that's considered an old house. Whereas here in the UK, I'm living in this cottage which was built in 1854. But these are the original stone walls here behind me. This place was built before the American Civil War. I mean, it was built when America as a country was, give or take, about 80 years old. And when you come from a young country that's still, I think, figuring itself out, I'm the descendant of European immigrants who came to America. And now I've left America and immigrated back home. This is home to me. The UK, the Scottish Highlands. This is where I belong. And there's such a tremendous sense of peace being surrounded by these walls. Many people around the world dream of returning to the home of their ancestors, the British Isles. At the age of 45, I fulfilled a lifelong ambition and bought my dream home in the Scottish Highlands. My name's Jason, and I live in the far north of Scotland. This is my story. Welcome to the American Highlander. One thing about living in Fantasyland, you still gotta take out the trash. Rubbish, rubbish, not trash. Rubbish. I'm integrating. Let's get it done. I don't remember the driveway being this steep when I bought the place. Oh, I need a beer. Oh, yeah, I need an iron brew. I need a team of left-footed haggis to get me around this corner. Oh. Oh, but you know what? It's all worth it. Do I have buyer's remorse now that I've moved in? No. The house chose us. It's really difficult to explain. We walked in and took a look around and just instantly felt at home. And it was like the house chose us. I think that if there is anything beyond what we perceive as reality, there's just this overwhelming sense of this place is right for us and we will do right by this place. Good morning from the Scottish Highlands. It's early August, beautiful sunny day, scheduled to get up to 18 degrees today. There's a gentle breeze keeping the midges away, so, I mean, what more do you want? Hey, before we get started, I want to thank you guys for the amazing reception that you gave the debut of this channel. I believe me, no one's more surprised at how fast this blew up than I am. I mean, I posted my first video and then went to bed and woke up the following morning, checked my phone, and, you know, I am a dork. Anyway, so seriously, I'm very, very grateful, particularly to those of you who live here in Scotland, those of you who are my neighbors. You really don't know how much it means to me for the warm welcome that you gave me. I'm an immigrant, and this channel is a love letter, an immigrant's love letter to Scotland, the place I've always wanted to be. So I'm doing my best to integrate, and I genuinely appreciate the love, the warm welcome. Real quick, I want to give a couple of shout outs. The first one is to another YouTube channel, the Scottish Isle. These guys have been around for a while. They're a really good channel here on YouTube. And when I posted my first video, they actually made a community post announcing my channel to their audience and saying, hey, go check out the American Highlander. I was not expecting that. That was really cool, and it gave that first video one heck of a boost. So genuinely appreciate it. I owe you guys. Also, shout out to Dunrobin Sawmill. I mentioned them in my first video because I do legitimately buy my firewood from them. As a matter of fact, I need to get up there again soon and buy my winter supply. They somehow saw the video and reposted it on their Facebook page. And again, I'm super grateful for that. I was not expecting that at all. And one of the things I want to do with this channel is showcase local businesses. So, I mean, as an example, some of the best fish and chips you'll find, I think, legitimately anywhere in Scotland, is actually not far from here in Golspie. It's the Trawler. Phenomenal food. My wife absolutely loves their fish and chips. So that's an example of a local business that I want to try to drive more traffic to. And if you have a local business that you'd like showcased, get in touch. So with that very long preamble out of the way, let's go. One of the questions that comes up quite a lot in the comments is, what are the day-to-day expenses like as a homeowner here in Scotland? Frankly, in a lot of ways, it's really not that different from what you would expect living in the US or an equivalent country. For instance, in the US, you have property taxes. Well, here we have council tax. Fairly similar, although it does also cover some other services and what have you. So garbage collection and actually water. In England and Wales, water is broken out separately, but here in Scotland, it's actually included in your council tax. Now, certain other things are broken out separately. So for instance, electricity, that's its own separate bill. Oh, speaking of water, by the way, a lot of houses, if you get really rural, they're on private water supply. They have their own boreholes, whereas I'm on mains water, and I have a septic system here. So I am pretty darn self-sufficient, but again, a lot of this would seem very familiar to anyone coming from the US or Canada or what have you. One interesting wrinkle is high-speed internet. Along the A9 corridor, fiber is being introduced. So there are areas up here that have really good fiber, but that's not necessarily the case throughout all of the far north. There's certainly many areas that are still quite remote. And actually, I'm in one of those areas. I don't have fiber here. So the only way that I can live and work here is with satellite internet. So like a lot of people in my position, I have Starlink, and it is a game changer. With Starlink, I'm able to make a living, and I'm able to film this and upload it for you to watch it. So thank you, Elon. One of the things I should touch on briefly, because it came up a lot in the comments, the title of the first episode of the American Highlander starts with, "I escaped the USA." That ruffled a few feathers. And what do you mean you escaped the USA? Were you a prisoner? Do you not like the USA? Ronald Reagan, bald eagles. Chill. Calm down. I love the USA. It's a great country. I think it's sorting itself out at the moment, but that's not really a reflection of the good, honest, hardworking people who live there. It's just that ever since I was a kid, I have had a compulsion to live and work in the United Kingdom, to live in the rural UK countryside, particularly the Scottish Highlands. It's the calling of my heart. So, contextually, treat the title of that first episode the same way that you would look at the title of the TV show, Escape to the Country. It really is that simple. A lot of you were asking about the shopping situation up here. So this is where I tend to shop, Tesco. For those of you who are in America, Tesco is a supermarket chain. If you're on the west coast of America, it would be the equivalent of like Safeway. If you're in the Midwest, the closest equivalent would probably be H-E-B. It might be a Texas only thing. If you're in the northeastern US, the equivalent would be Market Basket. This actually isn't in Sutherland. This is just across the border in the village of Tain, which is in Rossshire, east of Ross. If you're on the west coast, going into the far north, your closest option would be in Ullapool. And if you're really into the far north, you'd be going into Caithness, so either Wick or Thurso to do shopping like this. So, let's get our own shopping done. We are about to become parents. It's true. Our child is a girl. She's 6 years old. Her name is Annabelle. And she's a quadruped. We're getting a cat. Okay, a lot of your questions, seriously a lot of questions, were about real estate. Specifically, how much did my place cost and what's real estate pricing in general like throughout the Highlands. So I'll actually answer these in reverse order. If you want to get a sense of pricing, not only here in the Highlands, but throughout the UK, there are two websites that I would recommend. One is Rightmove, the other is On the Market. These are the two websites that I used when I was house hunting up here. And then secondly, what did my place cost? It was in the mid 300s. Now, that is above the average purchase price for a home in the UK, but it's also an above average home. It would be awesome having a little goofy princess to boss me around.
Aside from your wife?
Aside from my wife. But everything is relative. It's like, you know when you turn on Escape to the Country, and there's these, two people who are, they're like 20-something fetuses fresh out of school. And the voiceover, the narrator is like, and they have a modest budget of £950,000. And you're spitting out your tea going, what? What? That's modest? And then you realize, oh, okay, you got a loan from the bank of mom and dad. Got it. That's not me. Like I said in a previous episode, I scraped together the money for 30 years just to afford the down payment on this place. So everything is relative. I'm not sure if you can hear that ticking. That's my wife's biological clock. And again, not for a human baby, a fur baby. A couple of other things to keep in mind about real estate in Scotland. Oh, this house, by the way, actually was featured in Escape to the Country. Season 25, episode 1, I believe. So if you want to get a more in-depth look at it from that show, I'm sure the footage is probably online somewhere. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. Scotland, first off, all the prices I quoted earlier, those are in pounds, not dollars, so you have to do the conversion. And Scotland operates on an offers over system. So the list price is where the conversation starts. Typically, not always, but typically, you're expected to offer a percentage above and beyond whatever the list price is. It takes a little getting used to. My wife has been buying up every cat toy, every supply, grooming brushes, litter box, gourmet food. This cat's gonna eat better than we do. Well, in my case, that's not saying much. This cat's gonna eat better than my wife does. The other thing to keep in mind is that in Scotland, unlike England and Wales, and this is a good thing, you cannot be gazumped. I didn't know what that term meant either until I moved to the UK. Google it, it's important. But you know what? It's time. It's time to become cat parents again. So guess what? We've got a new member of the family. Annabelle. Little Annabelle. So she's a rescue cat. We got her from the SSPCA. And she is just the sweetest, most adorable little kitty you have ever seen. And she's also a very brave huntress. My wife absolutely loves her. She's already imprinted on my wife. I'm just the the dumb guy who provides treats and playtime. And you know what? It's perfectly fine by me. Love you, Annabelle.
Annabelle has decided it's officially break time. Well, we were going to get work done.
I created the American Highlander as a personal vlog, but also as a way to showcase the very delicate magic of the far north of the Scottish Highlands. This is a truly amazing place to visit, and it's even more amazing than you think to live here. But it is delicate, so if you do choose to come here, and I hope you do, I hope you'll help preserve it, because there's very few places on Earth that are like this, that are still left. So, whether you're looking for information or this is just a vicarious thrill, either way, thank you very much. And until next time, take care.